All right, what's up, guys? Derek here with Two Guys Build a Biz, and I'm actually going to be calling one of our new students. So part of the SMMA Blueprint, whenever you join, we give you a phone call, we have a consultation, find out where you're at, just so we can better guide you through this process, maybe point you in the right direction. And it's just like a great courtesy that we love to do to make sure people are kicked off right. So figured I would record this one since this is something we do every day, every week. So no idea any background about this person or how the conversation is going to go, but wanted to document it here for YouTube. So if it's your first time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel right here so you can get notified every time we post a piece of content like this around entrepreneurship, social media marketing. So let's dive into it. I'm gonna pull up the call here.
I got involved with that, and we thought, throwing ads in as a service that we could add on top of it would be a good integration there. So
Totally.
that's kind of.
Yeah, so Derek, I've been running an agency for just a little over a year, and we started last August.
Okay.
And I'm in multiple mastermind groups, so that's where I essentially grab most of my clients from. We were able to scale to the six-figure mark just after 6 months.
Nice.
Just because of like the networks that we've been able to build within those mastermind groups. And what essentially has been happening is I've hit a plateau. I feel like I've hit the roof in my agency because I've been doing this as a solopreneur, and we wanted to bring on Zach to really start to boost our MRR, just so that we can start offering ads, because it's been a phenomenal upsell. Everyone who essentially gets a funnel created, they're looking to run traffic. So I felt like it was a really great parallel with what our offering stack was. And we really want to essentially get those results as quickly as possible by going with a course that's going to be able to teach those fundamentals rather than going through the whole trial and error period ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's where we found just a super huge benefit, and we saw a lot of value in what you guys were offering.
Awesome.
So we're excited to explore just the course, what you guys can help us achieve, and really bring the agency to the next level so that we can start getting some time back.
Totally. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we do the same thing. Like, we actually kind of started the opposite. We started with the traffic side, and then as we got more mature and saw the need and started to work with other businesses, we started developing funnels as well. But yeah, that is basically the logical next step. Like, as soon as you create the funnel, you've got, some organic traffic happening. Maybe they have an email list, and then it's like, all right, let's really put fuel to the fire. Let's start getting some traffic, some clicks, some retargeting, all that stuff. So like right now we've got a lot that deals with like Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to be adding some modules actually today on like Snapchat, just because we've had some success there. My business partner just added a Reddit section, so like traffic through that platform. And then I'm also going to be updating some PPC, just because like, especially when it comes to funnels, like Facebook is really awesome, obviously, because you can target very specifically. You can have like a great creative platform. It's amazing for retargeting. But when you have these funnel clients that, especially in the e-com space, it's a bit different than like local marketing, where you're just trying to generate awareness. You're actually trying to generate sales and cost per click and everything. So really, if you can get qualified, cheap traffic, that's like the money spot, right?
Absolutely.
So we've been experimenting with other platforms where, like Snapchat, for instance, like, yes, their user base has dropped, but there's still hundreds of thousands of people on there, and there's not as much competition from an ad perspective. So like, we just started experimenting on some of our funnels, and we're getting like 17 cents per click on like super qualified traffic. I think like our first run on Snapchat spent like $60 and got over 500 visits to the funnel. Our Reddit ads are actually doing somewhat similar, like around like 10 cents to 15 cents per click, where like I'm seeing on Facebook that's a bit higher. I'm usually like, something that's pretty good on Facebook is like 20 to 30 cents if it's like a really qualified bucket. So yeah, I mean, we can definitely help you guys with that kind of stuff. And, as you can see, I'm definitely open to jumping on a call, like if something comes up. But really this course is sort of like the whole gamut. So you might have come into it looking for Facebook support, but I think you're going to find some other things that could be beneficial, like just purely on how to sell the service, or upsell it just by talking about some of the things. Like, you might not be directly going after brand new clients specifically for traffic, but like using our client meeting guides and some of the questions that we ask really help people lead to the logical conclusion that they need our service and they need that traffic, because we ask them questions about their goals, like how much their clients are worth, how much they're getting today, how much they could be getting, and then really leveraging that delta to your strategy. So whether that's on Google ads or Facebook ads or leveraging their email marketing. So those are all things that you guys can kind of totally take and use to upsell within your business. Maybe a little backstory about me. So I'm 30. I started in sales when I was like around 20 years old. I started in the recruitment industry, moved into this company called Thomson Reuters. So they're like a multi-billion-dollar corporation here worldwide. They're headquartered in the Twin Cities. And I was basically like selling marketing packages to law firms. So websites, pay-per-click ads, Facebook ads, blogs, like anything to get attention and customers for the legal space. And I started sitting with the teams, started learning about how to actually fulfill this stuff because I already had the game plan on how to sell it. And then in 2016, I quit my full-time job there to start our business. And so that's been like 3 years we've been in operation. My business partner, David, he's really talented with like email marketing. He does a lot with like LinkedIn advertisements as well. So that could be something you guys leverage in like business to business type space. So I don't know like what your clientele like base is, but we can definitely help you with kind of all of the above essentially. And there's a lot of cool people in the group too that you can leverage as well, because some people are just starting out, maybe they're in college, they've had a couple clients, or like I'm meeting up with a guy this week, he just quit his job. But then we have guys in the group that like Roger, he's been on Shark Tank, for instance. So they have like a little bit more experience. We just had a guy yesterday join. He's a pretty amazing media buyer. He's worked for some pretty big brands like Best Buy, spending millions of dollars. But he's really looking for like the sales kind of support as well. So like whenever there's a question or like if there isn't something specifically in the course that you guys are curious on or need help on, like post it in the group. Every Friday we go live and we just literally field Q&A questions. We'll do screen sharing. So if it's like not in the course, either have already recorded it and it's about to be added, or we'll take your feedback and just cut a module. Or if it's like something very specific, I'm totally open to just jumping on a call and like walking you through something as well. So we're pretty available right now. As there's like a few hundred people in this community now, as it grows, it might be more difficult to scale that out, but we still try to find some time like between our client meetings to like do phone calls like this and, help you guys out too. So, and then, I mean, maybe we could leverage some partnerships on things too in the future. Like, it sounds like you guys are pretty good with funnels. We do that kind of stuff too, but, as we grow, I'm always looking to connect with like talented people that are, we could potentially maybe pass some work to you or, vice versa, whatever. So, super cool to meet you guys here.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing there.
Where are you guys from, actually?
Canada, Calgary.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, down in the oil field hemisphere of the world, I guess.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So, I've been to Canada. I've been to Toronto a few times.
Yeah.
Really love the city. It was an awesome experience there. I thought it was pretty wild that they had like a whole underground path throughout the whole city. That like blew my mind.
Yeah, see there, way out there is way different than what, we have out here. But, if you like the outdoors and mountains and all that sort of thing. That's
Oh
what the
yeah,
Western. Yeah, so
of course. Like I think Banff is on my hit list for sure. I want to go
yeah,
there so bad.
that's a tourism hotspot. So
Yeah.
we'll be stuck in crowds.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, no,
So like
no,
as far as for you guys getting kicked off, like is there any like burning questions that you guys have out of the gate, or like some specific subjects you want to tackle early on, um, that I could maybe shed some light on or kind of point you in the right direction on?
Yeah, so I guess we've been running a bit of Facebook ads just for Rocket Funnels. So like that's just my agency business, and then we also have like a digital product
Okay.
that I created for my mom way back when. So we were just playing around with running ads on those, and we've been getting really cheap clicks on my mom's stuff. Like I think it was down to like 8 cents for like blog post clicks, and then we just didn't know what to do with it.
Okay.
We were like, how are we gonna like actually monetize this? So we were building like these custom audiences, and then we started doing like retargeting ads. But we just kind of were lost in a sense of like how we were going to get those conversions with the retargeting ads. Because I guess we set up a retargeting ad, and it was not sending traffic at the beginning. But then Zach kind of went in and found like some areas that needed to be addressed, and then it started spending again. But it hasn't really brought in the conversions. So I'm just maybe wondering where should we start in terms of like modules so that we can really find out the best like structure so that we can start getting essentially the conversions.
yeah, like we were kind of wondering, like like what you go with in a roadmap. You know what I mean? Like top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, like bottom of the funnel. Like what does each ad in that space look like? You know?
Yeah, totally. So the top of funnel, like there's really like a balance that you want to have, right? Like you want to have the most volume, so you're going to look for the cheapest option available while still having the conversions happen. So it's like you can get all the cheap traffic in the world, bot traffic, stuff from like India or whatever, but if it doesn't convert at the end of the day, it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
So it comes down to like testing, and we've got modules that can walk you through that. But one thing that came to mind, like I could probably just share my screen really quick. So like if you guys are setting up some like retargeting campaigns, the first thing you want to do is get the pixel on the site. So I'm assuming that that's there,
Yeah.
right? So let me just go in. Let me just go to an account where I've got like some decent conversions going. So like usually what I see a lot of people do is they'll just make a custom audience that's just like all of the traffic that's been
Yeah.
landing. Sorry, it's going pretty slow with the screen sharing here. So go to audiences.
Yeah, so I think we have the custom audience set up right now. It's targeting the blog post visitors, but it's excluding people that have purchased the product already.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, so what I would say for like step one that you could do is basically go and break this down into different days. So like I've got a ton of different lookalike audiences here, like for different countries, that I'm building off of a specific action on the site. But for like retargeting, let me see what I have. So we have like all visitors in the last 7 days, all visitors in the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 14 days. So like I would start with this bracket right here. So a 7-day retargeting bucket, a 14-day, and a 30-day, which is
yeah,
super simple to set up. It's just like create audience, custom audience, click website traffic, and then select your date range. So if somebody lands on your site, they get put into this bucket. Or you just click website. You guys have probably done that before. And then once it hits 8 days, that person gets ejected from here and gets put into this sequence. And then once it hits 15 days, they get ejected from here and they get put into this sequence. So it's not something you have to like continue to update every single day or anything like that. It's just going to automatically happen. And just test out. I've got a split testing module in the course, but split test out your different text, your images, your videos. And like a lot of times our offer gets more aggressive or more advantageous the deeper into the funnel it goes. So the first 7-day retargeting campaign, you might want to show your exact same offer. So similar images, similar price range, similar products. So there's some like familiarity. They click on it again. As you get into like 14-day, 30 days, and this is all hypothetical and is completely dependent on the price point for your product. More expensive products are going to take more aggressive funnels where you're going to have like a longer cycle to build up trust and all that stuff. But if we're just talking like a straight up transactional kind of product, you can get pretty aggressive with this in a 7, 14, and 30-day window and sweeten the deal basically like every single time that bucket gets extended. So you can have one specific message around that first bucket where, like I said, you want it to be familiar. You want it to have some similar imagery and text that they're used to seeing, so it just doesn't look like this foreign thing. Maybe in the 14-day window, then you offer a little bit of a discount. Say, hey, notice you guys haven't purchased yet. We've got 15% off if you take advantage today. 30-day, maybe you slash the price again. And then you've got like your 60, 90-day follow-up bucket, which is going to be a little bit more difficult depending on the product. But usually we see our highest conversions in this first 30-day segment. And then once you find like a winning combo, you're basically letting those run on autopilot, and you're just worried about where can I find more traffic at the lowest cost that's going to still convert through the funnel. Yeah. So high quality but low cost. That's like the name of the game. And then your retargeting can just be, plug and play and running automatically in the background essentially. So for like information products where you've got like a brand and you have like a personal entity around it, it's going to take a bit longer because you want to build some trust through there. But for your just straight up transactional products, it's pretty simple, and usually we see most of our retargeting that work really well that way. Another thing that you can do is, I don't know, have you played with lookalike audiences much?
Yeah, we do actually have a lookalike audience running on our one free opt-in there, and we're using that lookalike audience right now for the top of the funnel, just kind of trying it out.
Okay. Yeah, so I would use this for your e-commerce brand or like any of your clients. So if they have an email database of current customers, past customers, that's going to be your best option in terms of targeting on Facebook, because we've spent millions of dollars on the platform, and time after time the lookalike audiences, if there's good data being put into it, have the highest return because they're the most qualified. They're the biggest pool because you can go after millions of people that look like that lead list. So anytime you can leverage lookalikes, do it. And there's a lot of different ways you can get creative with it. It's not always just as simple as, okay, take a past customer list, plug it in, create a lookalike audience, you're done. You can do a lot of different things. Like, for instance, up here, I've got a lookalike audience from their user base list, but then I've also got lookalike audiences based off of anybody that's downloaded the lead magnet within a certain time frame. And then I'm building my lookalike audience off of that. There's engagement lookalikes you can build. So basically anyone that has, like, all of these are options when you create a custom audience. So, website activity, people that land on the site, you can create a lookalike off of. Customer list, that's usually where I start. I just plug in like their sales report. If it's a Shopify store, a ClickFunnels, whatever, I just export that customer list, plug it in, build a lookalike, and that's usually a great starting point.
What's what do you recommend for a minimum for a lookalike audience, like 100
size wise?
customers?
Yeah, so I mean, the blanket statement from every Facebook rep that I've talked to is they want to have a minimum of 1,000 data points. So that could be 1,000 customers, that could be 1,000 leads, it could be 1,000 purchases, 1,000 video views, 1,000 people on the Facebook page. Like 1,000 is their magic metric, but I've definitely used less and had good success with it. It's really, the bigger the number, typically the better. I think less than 100 is pretty tough. 200 is okay. I mean, I would want at least 500 to say, like, I feel with some confidence 50-50 that this could be a viable audience. But once you start breaking like 1,000, that's where it can get really fun, and you can, let Facebook basically do the work. Because it has enough data points, and then you can start to turn off some of those targeting options and not say, okay, I want women between the ages of 35 and 50 living in this country. You just say, here's the data, Facebook, and give it no limits and just let it find the right person. The reason why that works so well is because Facebook, its algorithm is usually smarter than us, like putting together the pieces in terms of interests and demographics, but it's also because the more like interests that you layer on, the more age restrictions you layer on, the more demographic restrictions you layer on in that ad set level, Facebook knows, like, okay, you obviously know what you want. This is going to be valuable and you're going to get charged more. But usually when you use lookalike audiences, you kind of take those blinders off and you take those filters off, and essentially the cost is much lower while still maintaining the quality, which is like the end goal anyways. So the more you can use and leverage lookalikes, the better. And just like get creative with it. Don't like start off with your customer list, but then select Facebook page and then create a list of everyone that's interacted with the Facebook page. Maybe that's maybe you only have a customer list of less than 100 people, right?
Okay.
Well, you could run a video and essentially create a lookalike audience of everyone that's watched that video 50% or more. Like that's a highly qualified list that you could easily get to 1,000 people pretty cheaply. If the business has an Instagram following, you can select Instagram business profile and then build lookalike audiences based off of that segment. If they only have Facebook, you can build a lookalike audience off of that. Website activity, so how many leads. So this is definitely a space that you want to get really comfortable with and like keep experimenting and keep trying new things. And then also just some food for thought. Like if you can see my custom audience or my lookalike audiences here in the background, like I'm experimenting with different percentages. So I've got 1%, I've got 1 to 2%, I've got 2 to 5, 5 to 10. So that's just like the bigger percentage that you select when creating that lookalike audience, in theory, is going to be less quality but higher volume. So like you can see the 1% yields 290,000, where this one has almost 10 million because it's 2% to 5%. So the percentage is just based off of like how many people in that country fitting that criteria. So usually the lower you can drag that percentage down when creating a lookalike audience, the more qualified it's going to be, but at the same time you're going to have less pools to go after. So like you really want to, from like a Facebook theory perspective, you would want to run your ads very targeted at first and like season the pixel into getting those purchases. You might pay a bit more, But then as you build up more lookalike audiences, more data, bigger percentages, you're going after like that pond, lake, ocean effect, to where you can just take all the filters off and just go after these giant pools of people. Like that's really the end goal, is to start really targeted, understand who your ideal customer is through data collection. So either getting them to fill out a lead capture form, watch a video, like your page, land on a website, just basically cooking those people. So Facebook is saying, okay, this is a good customer, this is a good customer, this is a good customer. And as you build up that data set, you can start to build out those massive lookalike audiences. And like that's really how you scale in theory.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna plug in my laptop here because it's just about to die off on me.
Yeah. Actually, I gotta jump to another call.
Yeah, I've got a 1:30 actually as well.
But yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you, Derek. Honestly, like thank you for just diving in the retargeting aspect of things, because that helps a lot.
Totally.
Just kind of what we're trying to accomplish right now. But I'm excited to dive into your course and learn some more. And it was a pleasure.
Cool. Yeah, and definitely, I think like in the first couple modules, there's the Facebook group that you guys can join. The inner circle, like that's the best way to get direct access to me and David for like any questions as they come up.
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys, I gotta head out, but have a good day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's good meeting you. We'll talk soon, I'm sure.
Talk to you soon, Tyler.
All right, bye.
Yeah, no, I think as far as like where we are, I think that's kind of our our main issues that we have now is just kind of figuring out how to essentially build out our campaigns.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's a good jumping point.
Yeah, definitely. And ping me if you have any questions. Otherwise, join that group and just post in there when you have questions. Like the people that are most successful are the ones that ask questions. So don't hesitate at all to ask us anything.
No, that's good to hear, man. Because I'm sure we'll be nagging you again shortly. So
no problem. It's all good.
Okay. Well, I think that was a good start for today. Anyway.
Cool.
So,
all right, man.
yeah, thanks, Derek. Good meeting you. Eh?
Yeah. You too.
Have a good one.
All right. See ya. Bye. Cool. So typical call, just gave him a launch point on how to get started. Like a lot of people come into this completely different, looking for different things. Some people are just starting their business. They have no experience and they need the literal blueprint A to Z. That's perfect. Then you got guys like Zach here where they've already got a profitable business. They just need another component to help them scale or add a product offering. So they're going to skip right to the Facebook and the actual fulfilling of services and traffic section. But like I said, they could still find a ton of value from the sales and like how we position our service, because that's just going to help them upsell. So when they get a funnel client, they can say, here's some questions, and really go through that process like we do. So yeah, that was just a typical call. Today is a Tuesday. I've got a sales call right now that I've got to get on, and then I have a happy hour and a networking event that I'm going to. So we will catch you guys later. Make sure to comment if you guys have any questions, #BuildIt if you found this valuable, and subscribe so you can see more videos like this. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video. See ya.